Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys trade proposal adds 2,300-yard RB alongside Ezekiel Elliott. The Dallas Cowboys likely are not done adding to the backfield even after signing veteran running back Ezekiel Elliott for the upcoming 2024 campaign. Elliott returns to Dallas, and atop the Cowboys' depth chart, on the heels of rushing for 642 yards and 3 touchdowns for the New England Patriots during the 2023 season, including starting the final 5 games. However, the Cowboys' backfield is still rather inexperienced and could use another big play threat to spell Elliott and complement his running style as a between-the-tackles bruiser. According to Ari Merev of the 33rd team, the Miami Dolphins could make running back Jeff Wilson Jr. available either via trade or by releasing the 28-year-old ahead of the season. The Miami Dolphins drafted Tennessee RB Jalen Wright in the 4th round, Merev points out, adding him to the mix with Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert. Miami, which is tied against the cap, would clear $1.2 million if it moved on from Jeff Wilson Jr. through his first 7 seasons. With the San Francisco 49ers and Dolphins, Wilson has rushed for 2,313 yards with 18 touchdowns while proving himself an accomplished pass catcher out of the backfield, hauling in 71 receptions for 566 yards and 5 more scores. The combination of the Dolphins loading up on speedy running backs alongside quarterback Tua Tagovailoa in the backfield and the opportunity to free up cap space could make Miami eager to move on from Wilson Jr. Likewise, Pro Football Focus points out that 5 of Wilson's 41 rushing attempts in 2023 were explosive runs of 10 yards or more. Adding Wilson's speed and competence as a receiving option out of the backfield would create a formidable and versatile backfield duo for the Cowboys. Given what the Dolphins have invested at running back, and potentially looking to move on from Wilson, perhaps a late-round selection in the 2025 NFL Draft would be all it will take for the Cowboys to pry Wilson away. The Dolphins previously traded away their 6th-round pick in 2025 to acquire Chase Claypool from the Chicago Bears, so this proposed deal with the Cowboys would replenish some of their draft capital next spring. In Dallas, Wilson would likely vault to the role of Elliott's primary backup and potentially even see snaps on the field together at the same time. Given Rico Dowdle's inexperience and Deuce Vaughn's underwhelming rookie season, Wilson's skill set gives him the chance to contribute meaningful snaps. Even after signing Royce Freeman, Wilson Jr. adds a different element to the Cowboys' backfield for the upcoming season. The Dolphins restructured Wilson Jr.'s contract recently, which could make acquiring him even more palatable for the Cowboys. In a move first reported by the Sun-Sentinel, the Dolphins lowered Wilson's cap number from $3.67 million for the 2024 season to $2.375 million. Any trades or signings the Cowboys make this offseason are going to need to be cap-friendly deals, which Wilson Jr. most certainly would be. According to Spotrac, the Cowboys currently have just $4.49 million in cap space. So, if Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are looking to further upgrade the running back position after reuniting with Elliott, a trade such as one to acquire Wilson might be the most cap-friendly with the most upside. Cowboys may have DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin's replacements waiting in the wings. Both Zach Martin and DeMarcus Lawrence joined the Dallas Cowboys as part of their 2014 draft class and are now the 2 longest-tenured players with the organization. Unfortunately, they are also both entering a contract year in 2024 and may be playing their last and final season with America's team. There's a very real possibility 2024 could be a swan song season for both Martin and Lawrence. Due to their age and the money it would take to re-sign both or either of them, it's possible their future in Dallas does not extend beyond this season. It's truly unfortunate we may be saying goodbye to them, but that is part of the business. Further evidence 2 of their cornerstone players could be playing their last season with the Cowboys was highlighted with the selections of edge Marshawn Kneeland in the 2nd round, 56th overall, and the versatile offensive lineman out of Kansas State, Cooper Beebe, with the first of their 2 third-round draft picks, 73rd overall. In Marshawn Kneeland and Cooper Beebe, the Cowboys could very well have the heir apparent for both DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin now waiting in the wings. It would be quite a stretch to claim either of these rookies will have the same type of success as 2 of the best to ever play for Dallas, but they could be their replacements nonetheless. Surprisingly enough, Marshawn Kneeland, 6 feet 3 inches, 267, is somewhat similar as a player as DeMarcus Lawrence. He is a big, physical edge player who is tenacious as a run defender with upside as a pass rusher as he continues to develop. Also like Lawrence, he plays with a non-stop motor, the effort in which he plays is relentless down after down. As far as Zach Martin's potential replacement is concerned, the Cowboys could actually have a few options currently on the roster. First of which could be Cooper Beebe, depending on how things pan out at center. He may have primarily played LG during his time at Kansas State, but his experience/mental makeup should easily translate to the right side. Believe it or not, but Cooper Beebe also compares pretty favorably to Zach Martin, much like Marshawn Kneeland does to DeMarcus Lawrence. If not Cooper Beebe, there's also TJ Bass, Nathan Thomas, and Asim Richards who could also be viewed as potential Zach Martin replacements. Bass and Richards both played as rookies last year and showed potential. And Thomas has all the tools to become a future starter if he can overcome the injuries that plagued him in college. Whatever ends up being the case, it is encouraging to see the Cowboys planning for the future, even if they are going to have to part ways with 2 of the very best to wear the star. It's going to be really interesting to see how all of this plays out and definitely makes monitoring Kneeland and Beebe this year all the more intriguing. Proposed trade has Cowboys landing 2-time Pro Bowl running back. The Dallas Cowboys could still use some help at running back, which has prompted plenty of rumors about potential options. Pro Football Network's Dallas Robinson believes Arizona Cardinals 2-time Pro Bowler James Conner could potentially be available via trade. The Cardinals just selected former Florida State running back Trey Benson, which could make Conner a possible trade candidate. Dallas signed Ezekiel Elliott, but this should not prevent the franchise from making an additional move. The trade proposal has the Cowboys landing Conner in exchange for a 2025 6th-round pick. Dallas failed to select a running back in the draft, instead reuniting with veteran Ezekiel Elliott on a 1-year deal. Robinson detailed in a May 6 story titled 2024 NFL Trade Ideas, James Conner to Cowboys, Michael Mayer to Colts, and more post-draft moves. Elliott can no longer handle a full-time workload, while the rest of the Cowboys' RB options, Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, Royce Freeman, and others, are uninspiring. Conner is a 3-down back who could become Dallas 1A, and the Cardinals might be willing to trade him after selecting Florida State RB Trey Benson in the 3rd round, Robinson continued. While Conner almost always misses time with injuries, Elliott, Dowdle, et al. Could fill in for a few games if needed. Arizona already paid Conner's March roster bonus, so he'd cost the Cowboys roughly $4.5 million in 2024. Conner is coming off one of the best statistical seasons of his career. The veteran posted 208 carries for 1,040 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns in 13 appearances in 2023. Conner averaged a career-high 5 yards per carry. The running back added 27 receptions for 165 yards and 2 TDs through the air. This was a loaded running back class in free agency, but Dallas opted to pass on veterans like Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and Austin Ekeler. This all goes back to the economics as the Cowboys prepare to sign stars like CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Dak Prescott to contract extensions. Conner is heading into the final season of a 3-year, $21 million contract. The running back is slated to have a $4.2 million salary this season. Owner Jerry Jones hinted that the team could still find another running back via trade. This was prior to the Cowboys officially signing Elliott. I've seen teams win the Super Bowl with running backs that they traded for mid-season, Jones said during an April 27 press conference following the draft. So, the point is that this thing's a long way from being over as to how you're going to line up against X next fall. One player the Cowboys considered signing prior to Elliott is former Pro Bowler Dalvin Cook. Ultimately, Dallas opted to reunite with Elliott over Cook. In October, the Cowboys played a video montage for Ezekiel Elliott's return to AT&T Stadium when Patriots visited, the Dallas Morning News' Michael Gehlken explained in an April 29 message on X. It wasn't over for them. It's still not over. Dalvin Cook also was discussed internally at length. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of James Conner? Leave your opinion in the comments.